Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Supernatural Strength Channel, the Fat Lad Neil Pickup with you in the mother fluffing house. Sunday sessions, the day of rest, but not on the Supernatural Strength Channel. And you will notice the mighty Enigma of Rage, Engin Terzi, is with me. Engin, are you allowed to eat today, mate? Are we out of Ramadan yet? Or are we still in it? We're still in it, yeah?
I have 1 more hour to eat and drink. I have been fasting this month of Ramadan, so it has been about 15 hours, so I have another hour to wait, but I'm okay, I'm okay.
Good stuff, mate. We're back. Yeah. Show number 3. And I think we'd actually got up to around 2002. Remember, guys, if you haven't seen parts 1 and 2 of the Engin Terzi story, I'll put the links in the description. Get yourself back, check those 2 out, then come back again, check this out, and we'll pick up where we left off. So, Illinois, 2002, mate. I think you had a bit of a battle there. You'd come back from surgery, something we had in common. I had mine done about 3 months before that. And you got second place there to Kasparov.
Yeah, left arm I won, and with right arm, I took second there,
And in terms of sort of your level of ability there, you told us earlier in the series that you got onto a real red line high point. Do you think this area of your career represents a little bit of a dip, a little bit of a low point after the surgery? How badly did that affect you, mate?
The mistake was, maybe if I would be patient and listen to the doctor, maybe everything would be fine. But I was too stubborn, and I wanted to come back, early. Probably you made the same mistake.
Yes, sir.
As I did. And then my right arm has never been the same as before. Like, it was just beginning of the peak of my career. I could have been much better. I have won many world and European titles after that too, but I wasn't like, I was as good as my weight class. Not like
not
no
superior.
more, no more dreams of beating the heavyweight guys or something. It never was possible again,
Just for my own purposes and for everybody's purposes, mate, what damage had you done and what did you have done in the operation?
It's okay. I had the surgery from the outside of my elbow here.
Yeah.
And after the surgery, doctor told me like 20 days later, take the stitches out and then start doing the physiotherapy, this and this. What I did was just like maybe 15 days later, take everything and start trying to arm wrestle. And then like everything was, I don't want to even remember those days. Even today, I still have like permanent damage there. Whenever I do things, it's hurting me, still. So we come back from Illinois, 2002, and it was 2003, and
just to pick up on the injury, mate. Was that the injury you suffered in 2001 in Italy?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, for people who don't know, that was because you were pulling against one of the original King's movers there, and he caught you in a wicked spot. You ended up finishing with almost a tricep press, like a broke back press, but horribly extended. It was sort of one of those situations where you wouldn't let it go. You didn't have a backward step in you, and you tried to drive through it. And
if I could go back in time to that moment, I would not pull him. I would, whenever he goes under the table and make, his arms straight, I would just say, okay, you winner. Maybe I would save the rest of the career by sacrificing one world title. But I didn't know what was going to happen. You understand?
No.
But with the mind that I have now, I would go. I would just maybe lose the match. And then just because I didn't know how to pull against such a style, And so I would just come back and prepare for that one and for the next time. But I just didn't want to give up. It's part of the spirit that we have.
Yeah, we've spoken about the King's move and the effect that King's move can have on some of the best arm wrestlers in the world the first time they face it. Anatoly Mantsev was one of those guys. He was original at the move. He was, he had it dialed in, as good as anybody's had it dialed in ever. And he really knew how to hang people up with that. Was that the first time you'd ever faced anybody in your career? Was that the first time you'd ever faced the King?
In fact, that is the second person that I have seen doing that. You know, in fact, I have seen Anatoly.
I must admit, I was going to say Anatoly, as far as I'm concerned, was
95, 96, he was doing this, you know.
Yes, really early on.
Long really before, early. And I'm guessing that, you know, he started doing this before even Crazy George, because I saw the results of Crazy George in 96 Virginia. He took second in the Masters. So if he was at the level of today, I mean, today he's going head to head even with the seniors. Not even today. I don't know how he is doing now. He's near 70 probably. But, you know, 10 years, 15 years ago, he was going head to head. You know, he beat Artem Tainov. So I think that he wasn't at the level of like 2010 or something in 96. So probably he wasn't doing this.
He wasn't. I was at that. In fact, he pulled my class. He pulled the Masters and then he pulled my weight class.
He didn't make top 6. Well, he didn't make top 6.
He didn't know. No, he was knocked out. I think
so. He wasn't effective. You know, he wasn't that effective before.
Knocked him out, and I think Pascal. I want to say it was Pascal and Begnard's knocked him out.
Probably, yeah. But I look at the results. He's not in top 6, so he wasn't as effective puller by standing above the table. So once he started going under, you know, then he became effective. So Anatoly was the first person, but I never took seriously whenever I saw him, whenever he was in my class. So in 2001, Hartlepool, I saw Crazy George pulling with Bill Sings. I was like, who is this old man? You know, and how can Bill not bring his arm down? You know, because Bill was a powerful guy. You know, Bill had minutes long match with Crazy George there, and he came from B side and beat Cobra. He was much fresher, twice in the final. So Bill Sings was in incredible shape, but he couldn't beat him. He couldn't beat Crazy George.
And Bill, what's more important there, Bill was, Bill actually cost him, I genuinely believe that Bill cost me a world championship title in 1998 in Thunder Bay. I ended up, I came through, met Bill on the A side. We had a ridiculous war that started 4 times. It ended, I won the match, but I was completely blitzed. It was quite funny actually, because after the match, Bill Sinks, I celebrated when I won the match, and he leant over, grabbed me by the back of the neck, and he said, "Neil, why are you celebrating, mate? You're going home." And for a minute I thought, oh shit, he's right. I'm done. We were both completely wrote each other off, just killed each other. But, you know, heat of the moment and all that, mate. But yeah, Bill was a battle. He was a warhorse. He was battle hardened, and yet still, Crazy George came through him and then. So it shows you what can be done by the top Kings movers. It's a lethal, ridiculous technique.
But people didn't know how to pull against, and still today, even if you know, it's still not easy way to pull. But for me, as long as the shoulder stays above the table, it is to me ugly. But it is fair. Nobody can say. But once the shoulder is going below the table, I don't think it's a fair thing to do. You know, it is same as shoulder passing middle of the center of the table when they do the shoulder press. It is just almost the same thing. You know, the shoulder to go below the table. It's even more so than that if it goes. That's my opinion.
So 2002 is done and dusted. How did you take that when you obviously? Because I know you're a guy that at that time you were extremely focused. You internalized things a great deal. Were you down after Illinois? Were you upset about the result, or were you acceptant because of the fact that you'd had the surgery relatively soon beforehand?
You know you are injured. You know you are not 100%, and you go there, but you know your arm is not 100%, but your mind is still the winner. You understand? You haven't experienced losing. You know. I my career in arm wrestling, like most of the times was winning. 93, I took second first year. 94, first place. 95, I didn't compete. 96, right after the army, second place. And then 97, Petaluma, 5 first places. I didn't go to W.A.F. 98, again world champion. 99, we didn't go. 2000, world champion. 2001, world champion. 2002, world champion. 2003, world champion. 4 and 5, we didn't compete the worlds, and 6 again world champion. So like all those years, you know, every time I go, I competed. So right arm was hurt, left arm I won that year, but you know, you still can't accept because you are not used to losing.
No.
Yeah, you are not used to, but then you learn, how to lose too, after that.
And what was the sort of reaction like in Turkey when you got home? Because by this time, arm wrestling had got a little bit more accepted, and you've always spoken about the notoriety that arm wrestlers have over there. And I've seen that for myself firsthand when I've been over there on holiday. You go over and people know arm wrestlers. They know, everybody knows a guy. Oh, I know a guy that, and they're not talking about somebody who just arm wrestles in pubs or arm wrestles in a gym. They're talking about they know professional arm wrestlers, guys who compete for Turkey. It really does seem to have that following. So what kind of response were you getting from people in the sport in Turkey? And did that put pressure on you? Do you feel pressure because of that, mate?
I mean, the truth is I didn't care about what other people think during my career. Yeah, I start to care about what other people think after my own goals being fulfilled, they are completed, and then when I am not that good anymore, and when people started to talk about, oh, he can't do anymore, you understand? He can't do, he's finished, because when you win all the time, there are some people that, like they say that, okay, you are great, and then some people are just like, they can't handle this. They are just waiting all their life, just for you to fall down, and then once you fall down, they are like, oh yeah, finally, you understand? So it became my motivation to, win, so that, they would shut their mouth, yeah, because, I mean, everyone's, I mean, they should, live their own life. I believe that they should just do something for their own. They shouldn't be satisfied by the others losing.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
100%. I always found it really motivational when people said, if someone says, you can't do this, and I think a lot of people, certainly a lot of real competitive people, it almost gives you, it gives you drive. It's every bit as powerful as somebody saying, yeah, go on, you can do it. Somebody saying, no, you can't do that. You can't achieve that. For a lot of people, that's really motivational. Helps you get up and do it, because you want to prove those doubters wrong. You want to prove the haters wrong. Is that how you felt about it, mate?
Yes. The haters motivates me, not the people, who has honest opinion that they are thinking that you cannot do it. It doesn't bother me because they don't have bad intention. But the people that, who is predicting this just because they don't like you, they hate, you understand? And that when that becomes personal that time, I mean, till I lose my father, I always wanted to prove myself to my father, I wanted him to say, great job, Engin. That was just like to come home with two gold medals from the wars, and then, him to say, I'm proud of you, son. And, yeah, I did, father. Again, I did, he hugged me and said, you want to, you want to get, this bravo from, the person that you love the most. So after, I don't know, I have competed a few more tournaments. I went to Niagara Falls. That you remember the subject about Devon and Travis Devers, and I won.
Where it was a pin.
yeah. If it was pin or not, yeah. Anyway, so I kind of like to hold Travis' side because Devon has 130,000 fans, so I need to be, supporting Travis, Anyway, so after that one, I was in U.S. and in New York, I was doing the ice cream job. With a truck, you sell ice cream. Yeah, I was in that job, but I was also competing in the tournaments. But I told the guy that I was working for, I said, listen, I'm gonna work for you, but I will start from April, but till the June. And I said, because I need to compete the European Championships. But the guy, he said okay, and he trusted me because I was doing honest job. And so, but he didn't want me to go because, I was working good. So he didn't want me to go. So he didn't think that arm wrestling was a good reason. But for me, arm wrestling, what arm wrestling means to me. So I had to go. It was right before the 2003 Europeans in Hanau, Germany. And so the guy was just like, I need you, Engin, please don't go.
I thought that was 2004, I thought,
no,
Germany.
No, it was Poland. Poland is Gdynia, Poland is 2004, where the Klimenko and Taras and Pushkar and Voivoda pull. Anyways, so the guy wasn't convinced, I mean, I didn't have to stay because I told him from the beginning that I'm going to go, but I said, okay, but my father is ill, so I have to go. So I didn't have to tell him this because he didn't think that arm wrestling was a good reason to leave him. So I said, my father is ill, so I have to visit him. Yeah. So I left him. Yeah, I left. And because I didn't want to get upset because he just doesn't understand how important arm wrestling is for me. And then, so I came, I won the nationals. And after I won the nationals, we went to the Europeans to Hanau, Germany. Yeah, and there I won with left arm. I beat Iskenderov, I beat Java Getiashvili, Saliko, Nariman Saliko, Yanis, all of them I beat. And for the right arm, there was more than 30 people, probably 32 people or something. They put me to the first match with Timo Mikola. Yeah, and then ready go, I beat him. They gave me elbow foul. Ready go, again I beat him. Again elbow foul. Like, can you imagine that, you go into the B side, on the first round when there is like 30 something people,
Yeah.
So I won all of the matches, all of the guys that I beat, but like at the end, there was my 10th match to the semifinal, to go to final against Ruslan Babev. And there was the Russian, Nariman Saliko, and like I couldn't even close my fingers, it was just so pumped, so tired, like because of pulling so many matches. So with Nariman, I pinned him. He was under the pad. They gave me foul. And the second time, again, I pinned him. He slipped. I have a video that is even under the pad. And then they gave strap match. And then Saliko in the strap squeezed my hand so hard that I couldn't even close my fingers. And I wanted to go referee's grip. And the referee told me that, either I start or he's going to give me the second foul. And then I started like this, and the guy beat me. I took third place there with right arm. What happened that after Europeans, about a month and 1.5 months later, I lost my father, really. So my father wasn't even like really ill, but he had a heart attack and he died. So it kind of was a very bad lesson for me to not to use someone's health. My father's, I said that my father is ill, I had to go so that the guy would be convinced. But I came, and really in like maximum after I come, not after Europeans, but after I come, like 2.5 months later, I lost my father. And my father was very important person for me. Still up to today, I try not to think so deeply because I get depressed because I love him so much.
Yeah.
And I was the oldest guy in the family, so I had to be strong, and I bury him with my own hands. I put him in the grave. I buried the grave and then put with my own hands while like everyone in the family was crying and this. I had to be strong. I try not to cry and this and that, but I realized that it hurt me very deeply about like after that time I started to have high blood pressure, and then I started to have high fever, very high fever. My fingernails were getting so dark. So all the time I was being hospitalized. I was like going hospital. I don't know what kind of effect it had on me, but so I said, I'm not going to arm wrestle anymore. I was very depressed. I started using those anti-depression, those medicines just to like feel better. And so I said, I'm not going to arm wrestle anymore. And then after some time, I said, there was the World Championships in Canada. And I told myself that, I'm going to go compete, train, and win for my father. And then And then we went to Canada, and there I won with left arm. I beat Grigoriev, maybe if you remember, he had a very incredible hook. And then I beat all the Nariman Salik, all the guys. I won with left arm. And with right arm, I and Haidar, my teacher Haidar, trainer, I mean, Haidar was in the same weight class, and he didn't have medal since 2001 W.A.F. And at that time, the government was also giving us the prize money when we win the medal. So I was hoping that, because I won with left arm already, I was hoping that he would win with right arm. We were gonna pull each other for real, but from inside of me, I wanted him to win. And so somehow they put all of us to do one side of brackets, two Russians, Nariman Salikov and Grigoriev, R.J. Molinaire and the Georgian and Haidar and I were all in one bracket, while the other guys who are, I don't want to say weak, but weaker, that they didn't have chance in the other bracket. So I beat Grigoriev, and R.J. beat Haidar. I beat R.J. and we all pull each other. At the end, I was the A side, without undefeated, and from the weak side of the bracket, the guy from Switzerland, Gary Kasparov, was there. Yeah. And then Haidar and RJ came from the B side. So Haidar and RJ pulled, and when they pulled, RJ won. So Haidar took fourth place. So he didn't get medal. So he was very upset, very depressed. And I hugged him, but he was shaking, you understand? He was angry, he was shaking. And then I pulled the guy, Gary Kasper, yeah. And then, at that time, pulling John movie, if you remember, it was mostly based on those 10 armwrestlers in the world, 10 best armwrestlers. Later they made a story with Travis Voivoda and John Thing. Anyway, so they were filming me, but I didn't know that they were filming me. So I knew that he was a not strong guy, the Switzerland guy. So I wanted to attack him. He slipped his hand, but he was just screaming from other side of the table. But the camera, I walked around this side. The camera was all time, filming me while he was kind of provoking me, with his behaviors. So I was already upset because I was depressed because of my father. And what happened with Haidar, that he couldn't take a medal. And then this guy provoked me, and then that is the time that, after I beat him, I was kind of like so angry, and people started judging me with that 40 seconds video that, I'm all time like this, like without any reason. But the truth is, maybe you know that video that I was.
Yes, I remember I was like standing 4 feet away. Remember it clear as a bell.
Yeah. And I went down, and then I apologized, Gary, and then we hugged each other, and everything was okay. I just wanted to clarify that, that it wasn't, like this.
Heat of the moment, mate. Heat of the moment.
Yeah, heat of the moment. Yeah, as you said. So there I won 2 golds, and they gave me best armwrestler, best male armwrestler in the world award. Maybe you remember or not, but it's I still have it here. Whatever. So that was how it was, 2003 with the European and the World Championships. I won 3 golds and 1 bronze. That wasn't so good for me, the bronze. But again, I come back. And then I decided to go up to heavier weight classes in 2004, the competition in Poland. And 2004 and 2005, we couldn't compete. Even 2006 Europeans, we couldn't compete as a national team, because after the 2005 Europeans, because we are part of the Turkish, bodybuilding and arm wrestling federation. Yep. At that time, about 25 or 30 bodybuilders in the bodybuilding competition, they tested positive. So the government gave a punishment to the federation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they gave a punishment to the federation, and they said that, 2 years no competition for the bodybuilders and 1 year for the arm wrestlers. I said, why to us? You know, you do doping tests.
You haven't done anything wrong.
Anything, yeah, but they just, because they test us too, you know, but nothing happens, you know, with the arm wrestlers. Maybe once in a while, one guy or two guy, most of the times for the weight loss products, but sometimes they used to, some of the people, you know, yeah. So 2005, Europeans, it was 2005. I realized that Travis didn't tell that story. He said he was going to tell on the part 4. You remember?
Yes, I do. Yeah,
yeah, but I watched it. He didn't tell the story yet, but you know, I let him, you know, tell the story because he told me. I asked him privately. Do you know what it was? He told you this.
Yes.
He told you that. Do you think it's possible? I thought I was poisoned. There was something. I thought I was poisoned. And then, like...
I think for me, it's a bit supernatural. It's a bit, I don't know, I'm always...
I don't believe those kind of things. But,
yeah, very scary. What it is weird. Anyway, we'll not talk about that too much just because it will come out on another show, but yeah.
You sure? You sure? Okay. You sure he's going to tell you? Yeah, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so I came from Vegas to let Travis share that one. And then we went to the Bulgaria for the Europeans. You remember the Anatoly when I pulled in 2001? If you watch the movie, right behind Anatoly, not Haji Murat, Zloty Tur.
Yep.
He was a referee there. He's also world champion arm wrestler.
Yeah, the brother of Kazbek.
Kazbek, yeah, and the father of Haji Murat, yeah.
Yes.
He just watched the movie, the video that whenever I was pulling with the Anatoly, he's jumping behind it. He's jumping and screaming and, you know, coaching Anatoly as a referee. He shouldn't do that normally, but anyway, so he was the trainer of the Anatoly from the same team. So it was 2005, you know, after the final match, Anatoly never came back again. He never come back to
Anatoly. No, I didn't see him again.
Yeah. And I
don't know whether he continued to compete in Russia, but he certainly wasn't on the international
Yeah,
circuit.
I never see him, yeah. He came, injured me, limited me, and left forever. Whatever. Anyways.
Yeah, I really realize it.
2005 Europeans, when I went there, okay, we did the registration and weighing, and, you know, I saw Kazimir Iskandarov in my class, 70 kilo.
I love Kazimir Iskandarov. I love him. He's a great dude. I really like him a lot.
Very good hook puller. Whatever. Anyways, he told me that, you know, someone is there. Zloty Haji Murat. I have heard his name. Do you remember for 5 years or 6 years, there was 2 W.A.F championships?
Yes.
So I was the world champion of this W.A.F, while he was the world champion of the other W.A.F. Yep. And then in 2003, Suzdal, and 2004, Brazil, he won Haji Murat won the world championships in 70 kilo. Even year before in Egypt, he was second place to Rustam Babaev, and he was 18 years old then in 2002, and he even beat Rustam once there. And so he came there in 2005, and Kazimir said that there is someone in your weight class that he's gonna just like do this to all of you, including you. He's gonna crush you. And I said, who is that? He said, Zloty Haji Murat. And I said, okay, I heard his name. And he said, he told me that, you know, up to 90 kilo, he beats everyone in Russian team. The Muriev and Chakilov and the Arsen Liliev, Jambul, all of them. He said that he beats all of them and he's going to kill you. And I was like, you know, he kind of scared me, you understand? And he's the son of the Meyerbeck that was coaching Anatoly that day. So it kind of got a little bit like personal after 4 years, you understand? Yeah. And I was like, okay, I said like, it was the official hotel, so I was walking to my hotel and I was like, okay, I better compete here and, you know, and then quit arm wrestling, you understand? There's some great guys are coming, we getting old, you understand? It's enough, you understand? So my confidence was kind of like shook. And I came to the hotel. I talked with Haydar. Haydar, like you don't look good. You know what happened to you? And I told him, you know, that you know this guy Haji Murat they said that he's gonna break my arm and you know, this and that. And so first day the competition started with left arm. There was very tough competition. You know the Armenian guy, Sardekyan, he was there. Lubomir was there. Iskandarov was there. and Jabba was there, like very tough guys with left arm. And
I mean, Jabba Getiashvili is an animal.
Yeah. And I won there. I met Getiashvili also in 2003 and 2004. The interesting thing is that the very interesting thing happened there is that with Getiashvili, like in 2003, I competed against Getiashvili in Hanu, and then I beat him. And next year, he went up to 75 kilo. So he's 75 kilo. Again, we met. Again, I beat him there. He said that, like, you were 70. I went up to 75. Why you came here, you know? And and I beat him there. And then the following year in Europeans, he went down 70. And I went down 70 again. So we met again, you know. Anyway, so, and then again there I won. I beat him twice. And then I took first. He was second. And third was Lubomir. And the fourth was the Armenian guy, the Sardakian. Anyway, so the right arm competition started. I was like, you won already with left arm, you know. Why you need to compete right arm? You know? I was like, maybe not compete, maybe compete. I didn't, you know, delete my name from the registration. But they were announcing, the guys at 70 kilo. Should I pull or should I not pull? Should I pull? No stress, nothing at all, you know. I kind of didn't want to lose Zloty. But, you know, I already made the money from the government because of winning the left arm. So when you win one arm, is enough to get the money. You don't need to win with both arms. So they called my name. I was like, should I not? Okay, let me go. You know, so I went there. I started to beat one guy, the other guy, and the other guy. And Zloty was beating everyone. So finally we were undefeated. I remember that you did the announcement of the ceremony.
I remember speaking backstage to you.
Yeah.
Right before I called you out, yeah. And you saying I can remember, well, you...
You remember?
Oh,
I don't remember.
Yeah,
just tell me what I said, because I'm curious about it. My memory is erased.
Told me that the man you were going to face was an animal. He said, do you know this guy? And I said, yeah, I know him. And you said, what do you think? And I said, I'll tell you in 5 minutes.
So you had no clue, huh?
I said it's going to be a tough match. Obviously, I was impressed by him because I knew what he was capable of. I knew he was solid. But to be honest, I knew you were as well. I thought it was interesting because at that time, most of what I'd seen of him, he preferred and he seemed to have more power straight across and not as keen on the back pressure. And I know you managed to carve through people. Your hand and wrist were really solid. So I thought if you could keep his wrist at least flat, you were definitely in the match, you know. So for me, it was sort of a 50-50 kind of thing.
The first match was hard. The final match wasn't harder, as hard as the qualification match, because after I beat him on the qualification round, at that time they were not leaving semi-final and the final to do later. They were only leaving the final match.
The final, yeah.
So he beat the Georgian easy. This is the same Georgian that took second to Yanis in 2012 Worlds in Brazil. And he beat the Georgian easy, but after we pull qualification round, his wrist and, you know, hand, you know, was damaged.
Yeah.
So then they pull again. So when they pull again, so they had a tough match this time. Georgian this time took his hands because Zloty's hand was already tired because of our match. So the Georgian took his wrist and then they had a tough match. So I knew that if Zloty couldn't beat me like totally fresh, I knew that after that match now in the final, I was
going to take a bit of speed off him.
Yeah, because I'm like so explosive guy that someone who is little bit, you know, damaged, you understand, cannot handle the hits. No. It needs to have the freshness. So what happened that, you know, I and Zloty grip up. We were announced as the like last match of the A side, and then I was just like I was curious, you know, how strong he is. And they said, ready, go. I was very tight, and he hit. His wrist was like this, but my elbow get out from the side because he hit me so hard. But he lost his wrist. So whenever he lost his wrist, my confidence was like, you know,
through the roof.
Full. Yeah. So I put the elbow a little bit in to my belly button side just to make sure that the elbow doesn't get, you know, out when he hit me. So, and then I hit from outside. We were like finger to finger and then slip. And in the strap, again, I hit him outside and then he lost his wrist, maybe like 5-6 seconds. And I beat him, you know. After I won, you know, I started screaming. I was so happy to the spectators. And then I see on the video that, you know, Hajimat pulls me with the strap and then I get, you know, angry with him. And then Christo tells us to calm down, you know. Anyway, so I won there, yeah. And then in the final, again, he first tried to go with outside again, and I took his risk, and then he wanted to go inside, and then I attack on his pronator, and I beat him there, yeah. Right and left. On that day, I won it, so I kind of didn't give the revenge to the Russians on that day. But later on, yeah, but at that time, like for many years, from 93 till I was like, especially the right arm is getting, not good. I was just counting all the wins against the Russians. Like for a moment, it was like 65-6 or something, my winning record against them. I was really counting, mostly at those times, like I versus Russians, but every year a different Russian was coming. Like now I have been part of the arm wrestling for 8 years. They are coming and seeing the same Turkish guy here. But every year I've seen a different Russian. I can count you all of those names,
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was kind of my hobby to beat
In
Russians.
many ways, that's kind of an indication of the depth, the strength in depth in Russia, which is something I think that's great, that there's so many guys that are right there,
Yes, especially middle of the 2000s, I remember, because of that reason that, the government gave punishment to the federation, we couldn't go to the Japan in 2005. And we were the finalists with Zloty in the European, and we were like one head above everyone.
Yeah.
And then we didn't go, and Zloty didn't go to Japan either.
No.
Yeah. And then he didn't go. Do you know who went there?
Go on.
The 10th place. 70 kilo.
70 kilo.
Yeah, the guy who won the Worlds in Japan in 70 kilo with right arm was the 10th place of the Russian nationals. Because nobody went. So, yes. The top roller guy, the skinny top roller guy. He also won with the trainer of Artur Makarov. Sergey, I forgot. He also in England, 2006 England, 70 kilo left arm winner.
I'm to think of the guy. No, I can't picture him, mate.
Skinny, tall guy, very skinny, tall guy, very good top roller. Yeah.
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah. With left arm there, Grigoriev won in Japan, and the right arm, this guy, Sergey, I forgot his name. I think Sergey was. Anyway, so can you imagine the 10th place of Russia is just going to the Worlds and winning there? Because the competition in Russia.
The level is so bloody high.
Yes. Yeah. So,
ladies and gentlemen, that brings us 37 minutes into this show, and we are at the end of 2005. I think we got a couple more shows in this one yet, Mr. Terzi. It's you're just warming up, dude. You only got strong when you got like 40.
I think you and I, we should talk also about arm wrestling too, one-on-one. About arm wrestling. Yeah, not the story, but about arm wrestling.
I'm all up for that, mate. We can definitely do that. We are going to finish the Engin Terzi story because I know there's a lot of guys out there who want to hear this thing conclude. But ladies and gents, we're going to have to leave this episode there. If you do like what we do, please like, share, subscribe, tell everybody about this thing. We will be back on the show one more time. Well, a few more times, probably with Engin Terzi. Engin, I want to say thanks for coming on the show, mate. Really appreciate your time and your insight on what can only be described as a magnificent career. And on behalf of myself and Engin, I hope you guys and your families are all safe and well. Still crazy times out there, guys. We'll see you again soon. Until that time, take it easy, peeps.